Welcome back to the one show I always look forward to, Defining Good Together. What does that word mean today, particularly for those of us in business and the community? How do we unpack leadership, loyalty, and doing the right thing? We're going to talk to the man. If he doesn't know, he's certainly trying to find out. William D., welcome, sir.
Hello. Welcome. Hello.
We started this journey, We've done it now for a while here.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a cool idea. What is good anymore here? And so bringing in people that you thought, we don't know what it is, but let's talk to some people we think are doing it.
Yeah. I consider it a real blessing. We've had some amazing guests on the show. So we have another one, the great Dennis Cole.
We have the great Dennis Cole.
I'm very glad to be here, William.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming. When I sent you a message through LinkedIn, I said, maybe he'll respond, maybe he won't.
Yeah.
And you did. And so, thank you. I just want to thank you ahead of time.
Big player here in the county,
Yeah.
and big job, and I want to hear more about it because I'm not sure I really understand what he does, so tell us.
I have to say, just before we go on here, that when I got your message, and I remember it was late at night, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. William just sent me a message. I can't wait to be on this show. So, here I am. I can't believe you asked me, so thank you.
There you go.
Cool. I love that.
So tell us who you are and what you do. Let's start with that.
Great. So I'm Dennis Cole. I'm the Chief of Staff for the Orange County Department of Education. And I also serve as an elected school board member for Fountain Valley School District.
Nice.
There you go. And tell us real quickly before William dives in and asks you all the tough questions here. I didn't even know. 15 years I've been here. I'm not sure I knew there was an Orange County Board of Education. Is that what we call it?
Orange County Department of Education.
Department of Education.
Yes. Yeah.
Because each city, not all of the 34 cities have school districts, but 28 of them or something do?
28 school districts.
And very fierce about local control and what they do and their visions and stuff here. But so what is the county's role in all that?
Sure. Orange County Department of Education serves all 28 of our school districts in Orange County, so you nailed that. That's great. There are less districts than cities because some of them overlap cities. Some districts will serve 3-5 cities.
Like Capistrano, where I'm from, the south, that has several cities.
Yeah. We have some very large unified school districts that will cover multiple city boundaries. And so it's good to hear that the Department of Ed sometimes flies under the radar for people who aren't in education.
Yeah.
Our job is really to be a support to our districts.
Yeah.
And our parents primarily engage, and our students primarily engage, obviously, with their teachers, their administrators, their school district. The Department of Ed is here as a servant to all of those districts to lift them up, to lift up their kids,
Do you help them find money?
We get to
monitor grants or federal dollars or state dollars? Or does that flow through you? Or
all of the above. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do so many different things for our school districts. And so really, probably the easiest way to say it is we serve as a liaison between the State Department of Education and the county districts that we have. And so they have questions. We have a legal team that will help them to make sure they're in line with Ed Code. We do things like we handle all of our IT, all of the
there you go.
Any computers, anything like that runs through our network. We also basically cut the paychecks for all of our county educators. So we cut about 100,000 paychecks.
So you do a lot of administrative work for them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot easier than each district having to have their own systems. We're basically a system that they can tap into and use whenever they want.
Nice.
All right, let William, because he's Mr. Educator here from Oak Valley College. He
Yeah, I don't
probably
know
knew all
about
this,
that,
but I didn't know, so I'll let you guys
Yeah,
know.
I did some research on Dennis. I was really fascinated by all the things he's accomplished and what he's done. I guess my second question, we've already talked a little bit about your background, but there's so much more that we can talk about. So you spent much of your career in serving students and educators and communities. So what first drew you into education and public service?
Oh, that's a great one. So I'll tell you, William, I did not plan on being a teacher. It wasn't even on my radar. When I went to school, I went to Garden Grove High School with my wife. And when I graduated, my whole plan was I was going to be a rock star.
You too? I was going to be a rock star.
Everybody was going to be a rock star. I was going to be a rock star. Yeah. So was in a band when I was in high school and thought this is what I want to do, and got out of high school. And in that time, I actually had some friends that began inviting me to church. And so I ended up going on a short-term mission trip down to Nicaragua and Guatemala,
Nice.
about 6 months. And I was on a ship. And while I was on this ship, I got to tutor the kids. There were lots of families on this ship. Mm-hmm. And so in the evenings, their kids would do school, and I would go and tutor them. And I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
And so when I got back off that ship, and this was about a year into college, I changed my major and said, I'm going to be an English teacher. And have never looked back and love it.
I love that. So how many years you been doing it?
31 years now.
31 years. Yeah. Wow. That's
served
awesome.
11 years as an English teacher. And at that time, you could teach.
Yeah.
They needed a math teacher. They needed a study skill. So taught lots of different subjects wherever you were needed in the school I was in.
In that period of time, did you ever have children that you taught? Second generation?
I did. And that's actually like a rite of passage amongst educators if you don't know that, like when you have that first parent that comes in and you realize, oh, you were one of my students, and now your student is in my class.
Yeah.
And what's funny now is at the Department of Education, just today I came across another employee who says, oh, I was your student at this school. And my daughter, who was your student, is also here now. So I've got parents and kids all working.
And I just got to ask, did they still call you? They're grown adults now. Do they still say Mr. Cole?
I do get Mr. Cole a lot.
Because I don't think I could walk up to one of my teachers, even though I'm...
Yeah.
That happens to me too when I'm out and I see a student, especially back from like 2009 and 2010. They're like Mr. Deed, and they're in their 30s with kids, and I'm like, you don't have to call me Mr. Deed anymore.
Yeah.
And I had a student say, I'm always going to call you Mr. Deed.
I think I would.
It was so blessed just to hear that.
It is fun. It is fun. It makes you realize how many people you've touched. My favorite is when I was a teacher, I used to drive around in a yellow Volkswagen bus. I still have it.
You were a rock star.
I had this old 69 bus, and I still have it. And so when I drive around and I'm driving down the street somewhere and I'll hear someone, they used to call it the Twinkie because it was yellow with a white top. And I'll hear someone yell from the side, hey, Twinkie, Mr. Cole.
I love that. Those are so valuable today. Those
they
are
are.
so valuable today.
Cool, old cars.
I see some of those for sale, and I'm like, man, they're asking so
Well, they're
much.
bringing back that version.
But you haven't seen mine yet. I don't think I get that much for it. Got some rust work to do.
Okay, all right.
That's great.
So my next question, obviously the premise of the show is defining good. And I always go to this idea in my head that there's so much happening today in this world. And when you get people that are doing good, that are out there making a difference in the world with students or whatever it may be in their chosen professions. So my question for you is, how do you personally define good? And and I'm going to read the question so I don't mess it up. How do you personally define good? And how does that definition shape the work you do each day?
Yeah, it's a deep question. I think that, like most people, we get our definition of good from the people that probably did the most good for us, right? And so we start with that. And so I have always begun with my mom and my dad, both very hardworking people, taught me so much about life. My dad was in the Marine Corps 20 years, so very disciplined guy and a great sense of humor. I get my sense of humor from him. And some people will say, thanks a lot, Bernie, my dad. Thanks a lot, Bernie, because Dennis's sense of humor is just like yours. But no, seriously, the good that they did, the hardworking, the desire to help others. Yeah. I can remember when a new family would come onto the Marine base. We were stationed in 29 Palms for 13 years. And I can remember when a new family would come onto the Marine base, they would stay with us for a few days because my dad would say, hey, you're not quite into the barracks yet. And so let's have them stay with us. And I got that hospitality heart from them. Yeah. And so just always trying to reach out and help others. My mom always looking for need in our neighborhood. And so I think that's where it started. But you get to that age where you realize, no, there's more than that. Because doing good just for the people around me is self-serving. It's like the people I like. And it was probably in my senior year of high school where I really realized this. I was class vice president. I was really involved in school and thought I had my act all together.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. And then at one point I was invited to go to church with some friends. I began reading the Bible. And as I looked at the words of Jesus, I realized he tells us that it's not just about doing good for the people we care about. Everybody does that. Everybody loves their family. Everybody loves their friends. It's doing good for everybody around us. Yeah. It's loving our enemies even. Yeah. And doing the best even for somebody who might not like you. Yeah. And that when I read that, I realized I got a really narrow view of what good is. It's just about my wants. Yeah. And so I think that's where I really started digging deeper into this question myself.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best answers I've gotten since
I think that is the best answer we've gotten.
Yeah, it's really...
Because we all think of good as it affects us immediately. Yeah. Good for my family, good for my pocketbook, good for my immediate circle.
Yeah. So this question is not... I'm going to save this other one, but I think about, I can go back.
You threw William. I was throwing the question out now. So you gave him the wrong answer. Now he's going to throw the question out.
No. Actually, this is a really good question. I'm going to save it. But in reading your bio, man, you've done so many things. I keep saying that over and over again, but you really have. And I love the fact that your idea of defining good is truly taking the words of Christ, right, and using that as a guide, because that's what we're supposed to do as Christian people, right? We have these two commandments, that we will love God and we will love people. And I think that's the most important thing. As I sit back and I think about everything I've done in life, everything I want to still do in life, and how God is using me day to day, I think about what can I do that would benefit someone else. And as I get older and I really start thinking more about, I feel I spent so many years being selfish, and now I want to be a servant. I want to see what God has for me. And I see that with you, where you've done all these great things. And it's, no, don't brag about my accomplishments, but let's talk about your church involvement. You've adopted children. You've done all these things. So you are the picture of what I think God means when he says, go out and make a difference in the world, right? Make disciples of all nations, in a sense, right? You've got 430,000 kids that you've been serving, and your own children as well, and your wife, and through your church leadership and all these things. So, yeah, it's really not a question, but more of a...
I'll tell you, first of all, I feel like you're talking about somebody else here, William. But the reality is, the moment we start saying, oh, I'm doing enough good, I think we've lost the sight of what doing good really is.
Yeah.
I can remember one time a mentor of mine sharing with me that picture of a big glass jar, and he put a bunch of big rocks in there, and is this jar full? And you're like, yeah, it's full. And then he takes out some smaller rocks, some gravel, and pours it in, and gets a whole jar of gravel into that same jar.
Yeah.
And he's, now is it full? And you're like, yeah, now it's really full. And then he takes a jar of sand and he pours that in there, and and now you're going, okay, now it's full. And then he reaches down and pulls out a pitcher of water, and he starts pouring that in there. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop saying the jar's full. And you realize when the moment we start saying I'm doing enough good is the moment that we limit what God wants for all of us to do on this planet.
Yeah.
And that is to love everyone, to serve everyone that comes across our path, and to never think, okay, I'm doing enough good. Now I need some time to relax and chill and watch my favorite show or whatever. No, there's too much good to do out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. And as I see things get worse and worse, think about it's more of a time than ever for people, not just Christian people, but for everybody to step up and do more, because we can absolutely do more. And so that's huge for me. And that's how I live my life at this point, is to figure out what more I can do and still have time to be a good dad and to be a good grandfather and a good husband and all these things. Yeah, amen for that. So question 4, from your county level perspective, what's one simple but meaningful way schools, leaders, and communities can better support students and families right now?
Oh, yeah. So I would say, big question, and I could give you about 10 different things that just pop in the top of my head, because it really is about context, and especially with 28 different districts, every community is in a different place of need, right? Yeah. And so it does come back to just making sure that we communicate with everybody in our sphere. And I love what you said. It's not just about one particular faith or one particular walk of life. Yeah. All of us are doing this good together. Yeah. And so I think the big deal, and I'm gonna call it my boss here. I work for Dr. Stephen Bean, our county superintendent of schools.
Absolutely.
And the good that he does as he leads our Department of Education is huge. And the thing that he has opened my eyes to that I didn't probably realize when I was a younger teacher is that we have so many good systems in place in our county, care for our students. We have so many good districts in Orange County. But sometimes our most vulnerable students slip through the cracks. And so we talk about people, our kids who are in foster care, and kids who are low income, kids who are English learners, and so it's a little harder for them to learn than other kids in the class. And sometimes we think that the system's working for these kids. Yeah. And then they slip through the cracks and they don't get cared for. And every meeting I'm in, Dr. Bean will say, okay, so how's this going to help our most vulnerable kids? Okay, how's this going to help our most vulnerable kids? And I love it. Our staff at OCD is eating it up. Yeah. I see it everywhere now. Yeah, people saying, okay, what are we doing for our most vulnerable kids?
I love that.
And I think that's probably the biggest good. And this is not just an Orange County thing. This is a California thing. This is a United States thing. It's easy to help. You were a teacher. I was a teacher. We love it when those 5 kids that are raising their hands are answering all the questions.
Absolutely.
And we're like, oh, I'm rocking this lesson. But then there's these 2 kids that have been quiet the whole time. Yeah. And do we take the time at the end of the lesson to check in with them, or halfway through, check in with them, how you doing on that? Yeah. And then you realize they've got this downcast look. And you're like, okay, that kid, I need some extra time with that kid.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that we never miss as educators, I think.
Can I interrupt for a second? I'm marveling at what you guys are talking about. I always thought that schools are aimed at the middle. We can't let the top end run so they get bored. We can't really challenge them.
Yeah.
And the bottom kids, we can't make them all catch up. We're just trying to get that big group in the middle there. And so both ends fall off. The kids who are real bright or achievement lose interest, or it's too easy, and the kids at the bottom, it's too hard.
Yeah.
Is that still the case? Are we still teaching the middle here?
Yeah, I don't think we should be. And Paul, I think it's a very intuitive response that you give. It seems like the most manageable response, but I think it's possible to hit all kids.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm getting at.
And the way we do that is you empower those kids maybe who pick up things faster to loop around and help the kids that are maybe a little behind. Yes. And I think when I was a teacher, that was my goal always was, okay, these kids are always way ahead. And how do I empower those kids to impart that knowledge to other kids around them to make sure they're coming along too? And also give them freedom to run ahead. You can probably test this way. It's harder when you've got some kids that are way ahead of you in the book. And you're like, that's okay. That's okay.
Absolutely.
When kids are further behind, how can I support them more?
Yeah.
But I think, Paul, it's possible to hit them all.
Boy, I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I found that in my teaching as well. There's always the students that sit in the back of the class that don't want to bring any, don't want you to question them, don't want you to do any of those things. They want to just get through class and get to recess or get to lunch or whatever it is. But it's a struggle, man. It really is. And what I'm finding in Orange County as I go out to schools, there's some kids that got in their hearts to be shining stars, and then there's some kids that just want to make it and just trying to figure this thing out. And because I was that kid when I went to high school, I showed up, and I graduated just from showing up. And I started college, and I had to literally build skills from nothing, math and English and all these things. I can do any of that stuff. I'm like, how did I get a high school diploma?
Yeah.
And but those are the kids that are special. Those are the ones that I try my best to love on and to show them that there's better out there and you can make it.
I'll tell you, William, I'll give you a little story about when I think that God really grabbed my heart on this one. And I was a teacher for 3 years. And I think we all know as a teacher, your first 2 years, you're just trying to figure it out, right? You're trying to figure it out because there's lesson planning and classroom management. And then you start figuring out that there's all kinds of other knowledge you don't know. By your third year, you're getting your stride. But I can remember my third year and feeling like I'm really clicking here. But you're busy, you're grading papers, and there's so much need. And I can remember I was sitting in my classroom at lunchtime, and I had this stack of papers, and I'm like, I gotta get through these things, and I'm grading them, and I can hear this student walking up the ramp to my classroom, and my door's open, and he pokes his head in, and hey, Mr. Cole, and it's that kid, right? It's the one that always like showing up a little early before school, a little late after school, and this is a 7th grade class, and so here's a 7th grade kid. I'm like, hey, how's it going, buddy? And he starts talking, blah, 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 and I'm thinking, I'm never going to get these papers graded. And I finally looked up from my papers, and I go, hey, man, I'm busy right now. Yeah. He's like, oh, okay. And he walks out, but I could tell he was a little dejected.
Yeah.
And I can hear him walking down my ramp, and I'm starting to grade. And then you hear that little small voice in your mind.
Absolutely.
That says, Dennis, I sent that kid to you. I sent that kid to you.
Wow.
And I threw my pen down. I got up. I ran to the door. I went and caught him halfway down the hall. I said, hey, man, I'm so sorry. Yeah, did you want to talk? How are things going at home?
Yeah.
And come to find out, he had some real tough stuff that was going on at home.
Wow.
And he really just needed a man to talk to and to pour out his heart to.
Yeah.
So I just talked to him for a while and hopefully lightened his day there. But that to me, I never forget that moment. Okay, I'm not going to let a kid slide by that needed to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's powerful.
You just won the official honor. You're a good guy.
No, he heard the Spirit and he responded. Yeah. God is, what are you doing? Right. You know, minister to this kid. Figure out those papers later.
Yeah.
That's that's powerful. I love that. Wow, that's heavy.
Thanks. So let me ask you guys a question as we delve into this. Maybe I'm going too far here, but do we have a common definition of good? Because that's William insisted on putting the word together into the show.
Yeah.
And I'm somehow foolishly thought doing good is about me doing good. It's a personal journey. It's a personal thing. I have to get better at doing good, finding good, doing good, whatever. And he's not any good if you just do it by yourself. You got to do it together with somebody. Do we have? And so that's why the whole underlying challenge of the show is I don't know. Everybody seems to have different, or we have these convenient definitions. Situational ethics. The situation changes, good changes. If this changes, that changes. There isn't black and white.
Yeah.
And maybe the world was never black and white, but we don't have seemed to hard stop views of what good is.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's my
I'll
opinion.
jump right in there. I love this, by the way.
Go ahead.
I could talk about this stuff for hours.
I love it.
This is good. I don't think we will ever really know what good is until we die.
Wow.
And I think that's on purpose. I think there's an intention for that. The moment one person has it all figured out, then we're God. And that's a problem.
I am the voice of God on the show.
That was the third time. He said that twice before we started.
The voice you just heard.
Hey, we better say a prayer before we I think there's going to be some problems.
I can't let go of this.
It's getting warm in here, Paul.
Literally.
I love it.
I just think...
But I love that idea because we're always thinking there is a good. We're going to put it into law. We're going to put it into practice. We're going to put it in our corporate notes.
Yeah.
We're going to, whatever it is, we're going to define good, and everybody's going to follow the leader, right?
Yeah. I do think that when I say we will never really know, I don't mean that we can't know how to do good. I just believe the more I read the words of Jesus, it seems like every day, and I've been reading the Bible for 35 years now, and it seems every time I read that, there's something else I go, oh, I could have been doing that. How did I miss that all these years?
Yeah.
Or I look at how Jesus handled something in a situation, and I go, oh, he wanted me to do that here instead. And you look at what he did. He challenged other people around him who said they were people of faith, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't agree with the religious rulers of the day. So we realize, okay, it's not
because they had
necessarily...
a set of rules. It was all figured out.
Yeah.
We know what good is. You got to do this. You got to eat this. You got to say this. 4 prayers. I'm Catholic. You cross yourself 3 times.
Or they thought they had it figured out.
Yeah.
And Jesus said, no,
they were applying it wrongly.
That's wrong. Yeah.
And we do that. I think that even we, within the different faith communities, within different churches or synagogues or mosques, we try to define it and pigeonhole it and nail it down the way I want it.
Yeah.
And then you see people not getting along. Instead of, hey, let's just do this together and let's unwrap this together, whatever the situation is we're looking at, and let's figure out what is good, and let's listen to each other.
I think that is the key word in this show in defining good is together. I'm not sure you can get to it alone.
Yeah, and that's why it's there.
Yeah.
And I fought that. I wasn't sure. Together. No, defining good. Right.
And that's what I love about Orange County, period. There's so much...
Yeah.
There's so many things people have in common. And if everyone just came together to try and figure this out, like I always hear about I don't know how many thousands of nonprofits there are in Orange County.
9,000 I heard the other
There's
day.
a ton.
Yeah.
And a lot of the nonprofits are doing the same things.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to figure it out, how can we best serve the total community? Everybody's
together
doing this over there, and you're doing this over there, and it's a lot.
Yeah. And I think, Paul, you said something big, too. Both of what you're saying is just resonating with me. And I think when we talk about togetherness, we talk about unity, we're closest to the Father's heart at that point because this is what Jesus prayed for us. He said, I pray that you would be one even as my Father and I are one. Yes. And so he wants us to have this closeness and this unity as close as he has with the Father. Yeah. And if we get there, and that's why I say we'll probably be dead before we ever know what good really is. But when we get to heaven, we're going to really know good. Because we'll be.
And then we're going to, like the V8 commercial, we're going to slap ourselves in the forehead and go,
what are you talking about?
That? I could have done that. That was it. Why didn't I see that?
You mean I wasn't supposed to be listening to Paul's voice?
Man, what was I thinking?
That's good, Dennis. I love that. That is so good.
We're down to the last couple of minutes. I'm sorry, guys, here. William's got 50 more questions he wants to ask.
No, I actually just have one more question. What do you think the future holds for you as far as, not so much in Christianity in a sense, but what's the culmination of everything you've done? Where do you think...
Where's this going?
Where do you think God is leading you beyond what you're doing or next?
I'll take a stab at it, but I'm going to tell you right now, every time I do that, I get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
Because God's got a totally different path than I would have thought. I mean, I thought I was going to be this rock star, and here I am a teacher now. Yeah. And so I think that every time I thought I had a plan, God just directs me down another path. So,
absolutely.
So I've learned to say this. Every day, I'm just open to what does God want me to do that day.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a tough one. sometimes he throws a real curveball that I wasn't expecting. And what I've learned is I grow the most through those challenges.
Yeah.
But I know whatever it is that he wants me just to serve others, serve him, be his hands and feet to show love to the people around me. Education's my heart. Everything I do, I think it's going to be an education.
Yeah.
And I've got many years before I retire, so it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But I've never been happier than this year in my career. I'm just loving what I get to do, serving the whole county. And so I don't want to say I have plans for where I'm going to be, because, like I said, God usually confounds those plans.
Yeah, he gets a wrench and he's,
Yep.
well, this is what you thought, but you're going
Go
this
that
way
way.
now.
Yeah.
That's happened to me so many times.
But I can
Learned to
say,
listen too,
and
so.
if anybody's listening and I had to give advice to them, I would say, keep doing good, stay unified in it, include others in that plan, listen to God,
Yes.
and above all, be ready to pivot, because sometimes he tells you to go a different direction, and sometimes he tells you through difficult things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's you lose your job,
Yeah.
and you're like, I didn't expect that. Okay, what good is going to come out of this? Because there's going to be good.
Yeah.
And you just keep on serving. And that's
Absolutely.
What do
so
you
that's-
both say to people, though? I hear this all the time. It's easy to believe in God or doing good or feeling good when things are going good. Things are going tough. Then it's this good stuff's going out the window here.
Yeah.
It's time to get down for me or whatever. Or the frustration. Why do my question? Someday I'm going to die. There is a God. I hope there is, and we're going to have this little conversation. I'm going to say,
Yeah.
why do bad things happen to good people?
That's the question of the day.
Yeah,
You know,
or
it's-
good things happen to bad people. Yeah, flip it
Yeah.
either way you want.
Yeah, everybody's got their own interpretation of things. It's when I always hear people say, "Oh, God is so good. God is amazing. I love Jesus," and this and that. And then when things go wrong, they're like, "Man, why did God do that to me?" Or this and that. So we flip back and forth.
Because we want it to be transactional.
Yeah.
If I do this,
Yeah.
you get. I thought God was a slot machine. I put so many prayers in, something pops out.
Yeah, I think by nature, we can go down a really selfish path with this good conversation. Oh, it's only good if it's benefiting me. I think you said that
Yeah.
earlier, Paul.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I got a good job.
Yeah.
So now good things are happening. And that's very selfish. That's actually a very selfish heart. And so we don't want to define good as, does it benefit me?
Yeah.
And we like to do that. And so when something we define as bad, someone gets sick that I know, or I lose my job, or I crash my car, and it's horrible. Yeah, it causes us to spiral rather than saying, "Hey, everybody experiences good." I wake up every day and I get to take a deep breath of air, and the sun is warm on my face, and I eat food that tastes good, and I get to talk to good friends. And boy, every human on earth has these universal goods that we experience. And then our job is to make sure that we're helping others to experience even more of those goods.
Absolutely.
Not ourselves.
But good. I'm just thinking when you bump into somebody, hey, you good? Hey, what's going on? Things good? Good. I'm good. Everything's good. So it's usually like a barometer. It's usually you feeling good? Is it making good? Is it things going good? It's you're touching them and they're looking at some sort of meter. It's the good meter went up or the bad meter.
Yeah.
And it's always about me.
Yeah. It's always how you feel that day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think so.
And you guys are saying together. Right? I'm going to have to think about this one.
yeah, this was a great interview.
Great interview.
Yeah.
Great show.
Oh,
How do they
thank you,
reach you if
guys.
they want to find out more, if they want to do good together with you in the county or whatever here?
Dennis Cole, they can reach out to me at the County Department of Education on LinkedIn, social media, so anytime.
Yeah, same for me. LinkedIn is big for me right now.
You're all over LinkedIn.
I
Every
post
time I look,
daily.
you're at an event or something. Yeah.
I post daily on LinkedIn, so
That's great.
that's mostly where people get in touch with me, which is strangely.
Can we do good? I'm Catholic, so I come from the tradition of monks and stuff like that who just went off in the world. Where I can't save the world, so I'm just going to go off and pray, or I'm going to go off and do good. I'm going to focus on me and whatever, or I'm going to maybe focus on the world and just pray all day or something. But I always wonder, can you do good by yourself? Is good a solitary act?
Interesting.
I think that depends moment to moment. When I pray in the morning, I'm worshiping God, and that is giving gratitude to Him for what He's done, and that's a good act. So yes, you can do that. But if I did that all day long and ignored those who are hurting around me, then I'm ignoring the whole unity call that Jesus had. So I think Paul, you got to do both. You got to do good within yourself. That's integrity. That's knowing what the right thing in the moment to do. But I've got to do good openly with others too.
Yeah, and then are you really ever alone?
Yeah.
No, now we're getting
good.
really philosophical
That's
and deep here. Okay. We could keep going, but this has been a good conversation. I want to leave it there. Thank you guys for joining us here and for having these conversations and making us think about these things.
Oh, thank you.
Because I don't think we talk or think about this stuff enough. We feel it, but we don't dissect it or discuss it. I don't think enough.
Oh, thank you, William, for inviting me, and thank you, Paul, for having me. This has been the best conversation of the day. Love it. Love it.
It's been a good conversation. Thanks. There you have it. One more reason to tune in each and every time as we try and define good together, unpacking leadership, loyalty, and doing the right thing with your host, William D., right here in Orange County's only community conversation, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.